Hello everyone. So today I just want to show you how we can create an Windows VM very quickly with the help of sysprep and Ansible. The things that are done by the sysprep and I will show you how I've done it. So the sysprep will give the local administrator a default password, and it will give the VM a static IP. It will enable WinRM on the VM, and it will also enable RDP. So all those steps are done by the sysprep because we need WinRM and also RDP, not for Ansible, but RDP in general. But for Ansible, we will need WinRM to be enabled, and also we will need the VM to already have an configured local user so that we can connect to it with Ansible and then continue the rest of the configuration. And with Ansible, I will only do two things. I will change the IP address. So from the sysprep will give it an standard IP, and then I will change it. I will change the IP that I just need in my environment. So I will replace that static IP with a new one. I will give the VM a name, and then I will join it to the domain. So not too many tasks are done by Ansible, but if you do it manually, it will take a lot of time. So let's just start. So here I have my YAML files that contain all the information needed for the configuration of the operating system, and we will just create now a new one, and I can just go with copy and paste a new. So we will create a new file, but we will only change a few things in it. Let's say VDA02. This will be the name of our new VM. So 02, and I will only change the IP 48. Okay, so this is the IP set by the sysprep, and this we will change to the 200. We will change it to 148 so that we can work with it. So let's check on our domain. I shouldn't have any VDA02. VDA02, correct. And do I have 01? Yeah, I have 01. Okay. Before I start, let me show you what I'm using in the sysprep. Where are you? Here. So VDA01 has also been created in the same way, but let me just show you where I've done and what I've done. So first thing I've done in Windows setup, I have created this this directory. It did not exist. Maybe in your case it will exist, but for me it wasn't there. I've created this the scripts and directory, and here I've created a PowerShell script that will, as I told you, will give the VM that standard IP, so the 200. It will enable WinRM. It will create uh, a new firewall rule so that Ansible can connect to it, and it will also enable RDP. So RDP is not necessarily needed for Ansible because Ansible does not use this protocol, but if I want to connect to it, then I will need RDP. Okay, so this was one thing that the sysprep does when the VM starts. Here I just mentioned so that we can have the execution of the PowerShell with no prompts. I'm just executing the PowerShell script, nothing fancy. And the other part where we set up the password of the root of the local admin account, that I'm doing with an answer file, and it's in this directory in Panther. You can find online a lot of information on how to do this. For me, it was just it was sufficient just to set a new password for to set the not a new to set the initial password for the administrator account, and I also set the time zone and date. So this is only those things I've done with the answer file. Okay, so let's create a new VM. In my case, I will do it with I'll create it from a snapshot clone. So I'm just cloning the sysprep. Okay, let's say, where do we put this? Okay, let's create a new PVA 02. Okay, PVA 02. Finish. This will just take a couple of seconds. It will just create a new VM. Let's just wait. It shouldn't take more than 1 minute. So I'm cloning, as you saw, directly from the sysprep state. So when the VM will start, you will see that it will immediately start to set the the password for the administrator account, and it will set the time, date, and zone, and also then the other script will configure that IP with 200 and enable RDP and WinRM. Okay, it's done. We should see it here. Let's power it on. This will also be relatively fast, and we will have a reboot here after it configures. Okay, so this is the reboot. And now basically WinRM, RDP, and and the user administrator has a password, so we can basically already log in. Okay, let's just try it. So administrator, come on. Okay, I just want to log in to show you that nothing except those settings are configured. Okay, so we have the 200 as an IP, and if we go with host name, then you can see it's the a random name generated through the sysprep. We can already remote in on it, but I can just show you that the remote is already enabled. Desktop, so it is already enabled. And WinRM, where can we see that? I don't remember the command on how to display the actual configuration. It doesn't matter because it is 100% enabled. Retrieve. Yeah, I don't know the command. Oh, I'm not in Linux, sorry. So let me just sign out, because now it's time for Ansible to finish the job. Okay, so Ansible playbook, and it's number 3. Okay, and ask bolt pass. Okay, now I just have to type, so the directory is infra and the file name is VJ02. I hope I saved the changes. VJ02. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to configure to type something, sorry. So it's, we have to limit for sysprep, limit sysprep, and I will show you why I'm limiting it on sysprep in a second. A02. Okay, so I used limit on sysprep because as you've seen, this is my now the VM has the IP 200, and in our inventory we have I have an entry exceeded. I believe it already connected and changed something in the first trial. Let me just explain this part. So we are using sysprep because we have to connect somehow to the VM, and this is the normal IP address, the 200. And this is why I used this prep. Okay, so let's see what happened here. I like when I have errors, honestly. Did something happen? Yeah, so it managed to do something. So as you see, it already changed the IP, but it didn't do anything else because I forgot to do that. Okay, let's say shut down. I believe I have to repeat the step because I forgot to mention the limit. Interesting. Okay, let's how do I do this? I believe I have to delete it because if I start it now, there will be no sysprep. Manage delete from disk, yes. And let's recreate it. Snapshots, manage clone. Sysprep, next full browse. Where is it? This PC. VDA 02. Okay, VDA 02. Okay, cloning. I will pause the video and get back at the same step so that we do not have to wait for this. Okay, so it's done. Let's now try one more time with Ansible. Hopefully this time it will work. Sysprem. Okay, that's what. And VDA 02. Okay. Okay, so it changed something, not something, the IP already, and it should reboot. Okay, so it's rebooting. Okay, perfect. And then the playbook just waits for the system to be reachable. Okay, and after that it just joins it to the domain, and again we will have a reboot. Oh, not again. Fail to join domain. Why? Could not join the domain. This is new. Join the domain. This is our group. It's not reachable. Why is it not reachable? Should be. Main is up. Let's see. So settings. It's correct. Administrator. Well, it should have worked. But we had an error. Now I can try one more time. Let's see, where are we? Join domain. Let's see if it works. And we will say start at. But if we use start at, then we will not load. Let's use tags. In the main. This one. Okay, so those three, and loading of the variables also need tags. Okay, save. And let's use tags. Okay. Okay. From VBA02. Let's see. Does it fail one more time? Yes, 200. So we only use this one for loading the variables. This one too, because this is changing. Okay, now one more time, and the last time this doesn't work, I will be very disappointed. And VBA02. We should have a reboot here. Fail to join, fail to join the domain. Space is either does not exist, could not be contacted. The domain exists. Let's say. Oh, I had an issue with my domain controller. Maybe this was the problem, because I also lost RDP, so it's dead. Okay, let's see. Let's just restart. I don't see why that happened. Let me see. So hosts ini. I hope it did not mess up everything in the inventory. Or maybe it did. Okay. Then we need to do something here. So first thing, let's remove this because this is very dangerous here. We had all our environment in the inventory file. So let's see if I'm correct. It changed the IP also of the domain controller. Yeah, so we messed up the entire environment. It doesn't matter, we should be able to fix it. Okay, so IPv4, we have here 100. So this was a very good example on what not to do. Pconfig. Okay, so we're back to 100. Let me just reboot. Restart. Continue. Okay, so I'm restarting the main controller, and let's go back to our playbook and add a safety task so that we never ever have this issue again. Here we want to enforce the use of a limit, and we can do that. I've done that several times in other playbooks. Let me see, where is an example? Here, task. Okay, this is with the dummy, and we can use this one too. Okay, so I copied this one, it's not necessary. Let's try to check here. And tab. Okay, so we should always use limit. Okay, here. Let's see if change worked. So let's use it without limit. It should fail. VDA02. Okay, so because we did not use limit. Okay, perfect. Now we can try one more time. VDA02 is my domain controller up. Yep. Let me see. Can I also connect? Okay. So we learn from our mistakes. And what have we here? If yes, if come on. IP. Okay, so preferred is 100. Okay, so I hope I did not mess up too bad my domain controller. But even if I've done that, it's in a test environment. And now let's see to finish this. Okay, it should reboot. So yeah, that was the problem. When I executed the playbook, it replaced, it managed to replace the IP of all the entries of all the inventory items in my so all the items from the inventory, and one item that was online, it was the domain controller, and it also replaced the IP of the domain controller, because I used an admin that has that is a global admin and has access to everything. But yeah, we fixed it, and yeah, never forget to add safety features such as this one in your playbook. So if you know that this will impact the entire inventory and you just want to use one item from the inventory, don't prohibit the use of the entire inventory with such a task, or even better, do not add in your inventory the entire infrastructure, so all the infrastructure servers like domain controllers and everything. Just add hosts that you work on. prevent this type of problem. Okay, so let's get back. So this is done. Let's get back to our to our video, and here, if I'm already on the domain controller, we should find now the VDA02. Okay, it's in the computer's VDA03. Okay, perfect. So it's created, and we can also do an RDP on it at the server. And it was 148 VDA02. Yes, and I'm using now on domain user. It's VDA02 and IP config. All we have our 148 IP. Okay, thank you for watching. This was a very long video, but we fixed a lot of things. We've done a little bit of troubleshooting also on the Ansible, and also on the VMs. We also learned the hard way that we should be really careful with our playbooks, because they can do a lot of things, and they can do that very fast. And yeah, always do those types of changes or playbooks first in a test environment and then into production. Don't remember, if you do not use limit when you execute a playbook, it will run on all the inventory items that you have. And as you saw, if you have things that if your playbook is changing things like an IP address, then it will do a lot of damage. Okay, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you liked this type of video.